Hey. Ow! Wait, no, you're doing the thing with the legs, not the running, the crawling. Hey, stop crawling. I'm not going to hurt you. I'm trying to... Come on, I'm trying to help you. No, still crawling, right. Tell me I've not slipped into speaking Orca again. I saved you. You remember? You were all loud and bright, and the loud part was mostly because you were screaming before you hit the water. Someone really should have warned you about the high winds this season. At least it was a small cliff. More of a clifflet? Why are you looking at me like that? Wait, I didn't mean to invalidate your experience. It looked like it was unpleasant. I just meant... There's a reason I live in a cave, all right? I was perfectly happy there, and then... Bam! Loud screaming human right outside it. I didn't even know humans could get this far out. You're still looking at me weirdly. What is it? Oh, wait. The tail. I mean, I can't help having one. This isn't a situation like, whatever you're wearing. Wait, I've nearly got it. Shorts? Sorry, I'm a little rusty. So, this is a thing I've been wondering. Why is it plural when there's only one garment? One leg each? But the legs are in the shorts. They aren't the shorts. 2 legs, 1 shorts. The holes? The plural is for the holes. What holes? Oh, where the legs come out. Hold on. Sorry. What did I do wrong? You're doing the crawling away thing again. Real? I'm as real as you are. Oh, yeah. You're right. Dreams can't poke your leg. To be fair, you did scrape your head pretty hard. But I'm not a symptom of your head wound. Maybe you're a symptom of mine. Maybe I'm hallucinating humans falling off cliffs in shorts. They do say, without enough talking to people, you end up talking to yourself. Maybe you're a figment of my imagination. Great. I'm finally losing it. I mean, I know I went through that phase of maybe I want to go and live amongst the humans. They have such fun languages and the clothes are better. But I always figured I was pretty happy alone. On the other hand, dreams don't have legs you can poke either. Or heads they bashed up on a rock. You know, that's been worrying me. Can I take a look at it? Oh, wow. Big flinch there. Okay. I'll respect that. You know what? I'm just going to... cave. I'm going back to the cave. There are no screamy, crawly humans there. Had like a whole lobster just ready to go, you know, and you get the steam to them and the meat goes kind of tender and... What? Eat you? Ugh. What? Nobody's getting eaten. I shouldn't have mentioned eating. Please don't look at me like that. I just feel like it would kind of be like cannibalism. I've never been much of a humanitarian. I get it. I feel like if I had a giant fish poking at me out of nowhere, I'd be a little jumpy too. I'm just going to sit next to you. All right? Don't be afraid. Or be less afraid. You're right. I'm not a fish. I feel like it'd be simpler for you if you were just talking to a really confused bluefin. There aren't so many of us, especially of late. We tend to be quiet about existing. Even me, but you did kind of land in my lap. And then I couldn't just leave you. It would have been... I'm not the biggest fan of dead humans hanging around. Attracts sharks. And trouble. The quiet thing. Haven't you seen all the wars and throwing beer wrappers into the ocean? We've seen how you treat fish. And whales. And to be fair, we're pretty much whales with extra steps. Wait, no, you don't have to apologize. I meant you as a species. Though I guess that doesn't make it better. I suppose I'd be hypocritical to judge someone based on species. You thought I was a siren, didn't you? The human eating thing is just a story, you know? It's a handy story, too. No one's going to try and steal you away and poke at you in a lab if they're too scared of getting served up. I've always figured that one got started by one of our folk, somewhere along the line. Let me try again. I've seen you around, you know? Not in a stalkery way. It's hard to avoid seeing people when you live next to a beach, even when you're kind of a recluse. What I mean is, you seem like you're trying. You take all your things home with you. Don't just leave a bunch of junk in the sand. And the way you looked at the sea, like it was home. Like it made you feel better. I understand that. I thought you might understand, I don't know, the tale and the sea singing better than most humans. I should have realized you'd see a monster. You're kind. But I know how a tail and gills must come across without context. There's a reason my go and talk to the humans phase never panned out. I wasn't brave enough. I'm barely brave enough when it's other sea folk. And, like I said, there aren't many of us. It's easy to get solitary. Not that you fell down here to hear about that. Oh, no. No, don't do that. The guilty face is worse than the scared face. You're doing the eyes and the... Still the eyes and the face. Look, how about a favor? If you want to make me feel better, let me take a look at that head. Because if you die on me, you'll die feeling all guilty about the monster thing, and I'll be all guilty about a human dropping dead right outside, and there'll be so much guilt going around. Just a whole lot. Guilt and bits of dead human all over the place. It'll be a mess. Thanks. English? I hung around, picked a few things up. You ever tried living in a cave in the middle of nowhere? Gets boring. That and the whole, I said we didn't eat people, but the luring part, I've never been so sure about. I think you're at least partly hearing a translation in your head. Sorry. The water? It's the nearest representation we've got to, well, magic. I call it into my hands, and I'm calling up the urge to heal. Sparkly lights. Is that a human thing? Stitches? What are a needle and thread? What do those have to do with a scrape up your face? Explain it to me? You were just going to have someone poke you in the head with a tiny sword? And you were scared of me. Humans are terrifying. Here. Let me. It shouldn't sting. I made it freshwater. Just for you. Hold still. There we go. You're great at holding still when you're not kicking me. I'm impressed. You know, I think it looked worse than it is. Look, it's already closed up. Well, you can't look, but feel. There you go. It's not so. You hear that? Hold on. That definitely sounds like a boat. Wow, yeah, that's a boat. They sent out a whole boat for you. They're even more orange than you were. There are so many of them. I should go. Now. Definitely go. But it was good to meet you. What do you mean? Oh, no, the tale's a lot to explain. And they'll be able to help you better than I can. It was nice to meet you, anyway. Thank you for the company. Try not to fall off any more cliffs.